1992 with a real breaking ball and a change, and he has a feel for a change, and then you got a guy. We're in the process of trying to bring in guys that are going to be draftable here in June. And then with our guys that we have in our club that are draft eligible, there's a constant balance between if he's good enough and he goes in the 6th round, that's good for the Red Raiders. Well, the thing about college baseball that's different than other sports is the guys that we're recruiting can be drafted. So we sign them, and then we recruit them again to try to keep them from signing. We sign them and go to college. Then the pro guys get their turn, 32 clubs or whatever there are. And if they're good enough, they try to sign them.
Yeah, he really controlled the glove side fastball.
And I'm learning it this year. I mean, coming from professional ball, you don't really think about that. Hey, they drafted so-and-so. Hey, he's coming to you. This is what you need to do. You play him this many times, and it was easy.
He did 2 times. Even to the lefty though, he pounded lefties in.
Now it's like you have to think about, okay, well, if he gets drafted, okay, who are we going to replace him with? What kind of, scholarship money does he have? And now all of a sudden that's going to free up this scholarship money for this kid.
I will say that he didn't make the adjustment. He just kept living on 2 inches off ball.
Where does he fit into what we have? Because we're finally in a position where we bring back a lot of pitching. Based on seeing him one time, you'd say plus command to the glove side, but you're not really sure to the arm side because he didn't do it enough.
Right.
If we bring in a JUCO guy, he has to have a role. Where does he fit? We don't have time to. He needs to come in and be something. What role is he? Is he a starter? Is he pitch at the back of the game? Because we have a lot of pieces back, and where we haven't been a year ago, we needed all the pieces. So if he was a middle guy, we said, shoot, we'll take him. You're a middle guy, we need a middle guy. No, I understand, but he's patient. He's being patient.
This weekend, obviously with us not playing, it gave us an opportunity as coaches to go out and see some kids that we've been talking to. Strong and throws a lot of strikes and can pitch. At one point in time, all the coaches, we were on the road. We can only go 2 at a time, so there was days where myself and Coach Horner were on the road, and then vice versa with Spence being on the road. He's probably a little further along than the other guy.
And it just kind of keeps on going. It's like a big old circle, and it's fun because you gotta play the game a little bit. Hey, so and so may get drafted, so we may have to pick up a pitcher here. Or, we need a middle of the order bat. What kind of guys out there that's a left-handed bat that can hit in the middle of the order? And you just kind of go around and you try to see what you can see. And right now we're looking. Our 2011 class is pretty much done, and now we're looking at 2012. We go out and see a high school game or whatever. Kid's a junior in high school. Now you have to be able to project him and say, hey, this guy's going to be a player, or no, I don't think he can really play for us, whatever it may be. But you're looking at 2012. Now next year when we come in, we'll still be working on 2012s, but then we'll start working on 2013s. And so you're just like, oh my God, Cal, here we go.
Basically there's really no off days. I mean, especially at this time of the year, you're either playing, you're recruiting, you're practicing, you're always doing something to try to help your team, get better.
Good evening, Red Raider fans. We're at Rudy's Barbecue, Loop 289 and Slide Road. Time for the Dan Spencer Radio Show. Robert Giovanetti, along with Texas Tech head baseball coach Dan Spencer.
Well, I think it's neat. I just think it's neat to be able to talk baseball and Texas Tech baseball. And anytime you get a chance to talk about your team and your players and your program, I mean, those things are great. To achieve the things we want to achieve, and we don't need help, and we don't need anything. We just need to take care of our own business. It's just an opportunity to have your program being talked about for an hour every week, live on the air. We're in a very solid position. We just need to answer that.
When the season started, you had the 18-game homestand.
He is a very good host, and he's like I said, he's very informed, and he's very organized. And so he guides me and leads me along because I could stumble over myself. So he stays on track and on task. I didn't know that. Is that right?
That's what's according to Scott.
Wow. And Robert does a good job keeping it online and doing the thing.
For an inside look into Texas Tech athletics, don't miss a single episode of the hit television series Raider Power.
Dan, to me, I love working with Dan because I've really gotten to know him, and he's really funny, and sometimes I don't think people recognize that.
Spence, you've got a lot of Raider Power covering baseball the last couple weeks, so saw that Charlotte sent out some links today, and so people that want to watch a little Texas Tech baseball, they can check that out.
They sure can.
I like to try to be able to ask him questions because not everybody gets me, and I'm not sure he gets me, but I know kind of questions to ask where he might give us a funny answer, and I know he kind of looks at me sometimes with a question I ask him. You're getting a little sick of him, aren't you? It's seeing
Well,
him around.
just a little sick, not really.
Every meal you eat, you've got a camera in your
I
face
know,
and all
the
that.
whole deal.
His job to come in and sit down. It's his show, and so I want to ask questions that he wants to ask. I'll try. I used to say, "Hey, what do you want to talk about?" This is my third year doing it with Dan, and he always gave me the same answer. Just whatever you want to talk about, we'll talk about.
And relatively, I'm sure hits are down just a little, but it's not the hits. It's the home runs. It's the that are down.
I tell you, that's the thing about these guys. This is why I love traveling with the team, is because these guys are just eating up with baseball, and they'll just sit around and listening to them. And to me, that's good homework for me.
I think we'll throw more strikes. I think we'll challenge. And there's the speed in the game.
Okay. Well, that makes some sense.
In the coaches show, if I've got a certain thing that I've been curious about, I'll ask him about that to get his take on it. I might have seen something in the game and said, hey, I wonder why he did this, and I'll ask him in the coaches show, and he's always honest. He always gives good answers. I could tell sometimes he's thinking stupid question, but he answers it like trying to explain it. And you can tell he's a coach and he loves baseball, and you add those things together. I think it makes him for a really good interview.
Red Raider Baseball with Dan Spencer live from Rudy's Barbecue will continue after these messages. This is the Texas Tech Sports Network from Learfield Sports.
Good evening and welcome into the Red Raider Nation this Friday. Texas Tech baseball set to open its series with Missouri without Magruder this evening in Columbia, but Red Raiders have one more home series against Oklahoma State to finish the season. Then Dan Lawfield undergoes a long-awaited facelift.
Number one, I think the program here, baseball program at Texas Tech, and I'm talking about today and 10 years ago and 20 and in the future, deserves it. I mean, we're a Big 12 institution, and we have tremendous facilities.
Texas Tech announcing a $5 million renovation to the stadium.
It's very impressive, and it's very humbling that people are willing to, run that kind of money at our program, and I think it's very exciting. It's just very exciting that people are, the Lubbock fans and our fans are so committed, and then you have donors that are that committed. I mean, I would think our kids and our coaches can be committed.
The improvements include new luxury suites, a new press box with radio and TV broadcast areas.
For us now to get our chance to have something nice and something like that, I think is great. And it's going to be great for recruiting. And selfishly, more importantly, it's going to be great for our guys that are in the clubhouse now that'll be back next year.
When I was in high school, Spencer talked to me about the new stadium and when it was going to be here and showed me the pictures of it, and it's going to be awesome.
And a new club level with outdoor seating. The plan's also calling for a new awning covering the center portion of the grandstands, which will now feature over 1,100 chair-backed seats.
I think we have one of the best clubhouses, the best fields, except for the stands. So when that gets done, it's going to help the fans out and it's going to help us recruit a lot better. So I'm going to look forward to playing here next year with the new stands and everything they got going.
And I told them, I said, the reality of the deal is, and whether you believe it or not, or the kids did, they built it because they got it going a little bit, and there's some confidence in people that have money, and there's some things, and they're looking and they're going, hey, they got some guys here that can play. They got some players.
As well as 5 additional rows on field level seating behind home plate, moving fans closer to the action.
We have great crowds, tremendous crowd, and the environment for our fan is going to be so much better than it is now. The people of Lubbock, the players, they're going to be the benefactors of it. But the momentum that our players have created by being good players and getting after it, I mean, they're a competitive bunch. Convince donors and people like that to fund us.
Groundbreaking is scheduled for June 24th with a completion of the grandstand portion scheduled for the start of next season.
I think it's a perfect addition to a lot of the nice things we already have with the clubhouse and the field, the surface, and the diamond vision. There's some things in place, and this is kind of the capper and the completion. And I think it's going to be huge for our program, and I think that it's going to be, that it's going to be a place that we can all be proud of.